Hello and welcome to a different edition. This is not a podcast. This is not an investigation video. This is a random thoughts with Natty. So we're gonna talk about aliens.
And how this topic came about is we're sitting here outside Billy Creek Village waiting to get in and investigate at 7 o'clock.
It's 6:13.
And we have no cell service here, so trying to connect our phones to Starlink, which is a piece of garbage because you have to keep moving your phone with the satellite, so I gave up. So anyways,
I did get to text my mom though.
Yep, so anyways, then Natty goes, let's do some deep thoughts. So anyways,
Yeah.
Aliens. We'll let Hannah start.
Hannah, your favorite alien theory?
I actually thought of more than what I said the first time around.
Nice.
So we're good. So my theory is that the spiritual world and aliens are very deeply connected, and part of that comes from something I heard from another medium who has apparently made contact with the, oh my gosh, what they call it, something like the Galactic Committee, something along those lines. And so the idea is that basically we as humans have stopped evolving at the pace that we're supposed to, or that would be ideal, along with the other species out in the universe. And so there are other alien races that have been coming here trying to help us, but they're not supposed to, because they're not supposed to be interfering. And with them and the UAPs kind of just showing up out of nowhere and then disappearing super quickly, there's the thought that they're traveling through wormholes between their part of the universe and our part, and that's why we haven't been able to actually make contact with them, because they're far beyond our reaches, but they are much more advanced than us. So yes, that's what I got.
All right, okay. And Natalie, Project Fear and their podcast.
So, I got my favorite theory from Project Fear. Their alien podcast on the Fear Club. You should go join. Actually, super cool. So anyways, so watching their alien podcast, they had a theory, which I really like this theory, and it's probably one of my favorites, is that so aliens are actually us, and we eventually moved to other planets, and now these aliens are coming back to Earth to check on us and make sure that we're, evolving how we're supposed to. Oh, is that Billy? No, that's not. I just saw something running. I thought it was the cat. They're just coming back to check on us to make sure that we're evolving correctly and we're not doing anything that we're not supposed to do. But I think that theory, I really like that one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of overlap between those. It really starts to make sense, when you look at the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. What about you, Matthew?
I gotta agree with your theory and what Project Fear came up with. That's the one that, sticks out in my head the most. And something that I've wanted to do long before Dakota went out to New Jersey and did his drone investigation, and before they are now out, or when they did their investigations out in the desert, which we haven't seen those episodes yet, but that's something I've wanted to do, is take a week or two long road trip and go out to Nevada and not only investigate some locations, but also, search for extraterrestrial life out in the desert, and just kind of, sit out there in the middle of the darkness, which I know you can do anywhere, but it's like...
The desert seems like a hot spot.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. We'll say I'm so bad at names. There's some compelling evidence that actually comes from a professor who kind of went on this whole spiritual journey of, in itself, and he ended up making contact with aliens, and he now brings groups of people out to different locations and teaches them how to spiritually and energetically send out a signal, like a homing beacon, kind of.
Okay.
And what happens is they do end up usually seeing UAPs and different aerial phenomenon, but when you look back at their pictures, there are orbs, there are energetic things happening and moving throughout their pictures, and it's just insane. There's a whole it's not even a docu-series. He's got 5 different documentaries that are 2 hours long a piece, and it is truly the most compelling information and evidence that I have ever seen in regards to aliens.
And I think it was a month or so ago, I did a podcast with Hope Hawkinson. She lives out in the Nevada area, and she says the stuff she's seen out there is just unreal. She goes, if you ever make it out there, hit me up. I'll join on the investigations and tag along. And so hopefully 2027 I can make something like that happen, because next year is kind of already seems like it's jam-packed.
Yeah. What do we think is the reason why Nevada is such a hot spot? I mean, generally the deserts are believed to be just hot spots, but it seems like Nevada really is it.
Yeah.
Like, is it because Area 51 is out there, or is Area 51 out there because of that hot spot, that energy?
I think Area 51 is out there because of the activity. It's not the opposite, because it's like, so I've done, like, you can drive up to the first set of gates of Area 51.
Yeah, before you have guns on you.
And you can't go beyond that, because the actual entrance to Area 51 is another 12 miles beyond the first gate, which is 8 miles from the major road. So it's like that far back. So it's like, it'd be cool just to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you got the extraterrestrial highway out there, but I just think there's something spiritual about the desert where it's like, I believe the aliens just are drawn to whatever energy's out there.
That does remind me, I know that saguaro cacti are believed to like hold the spirits of like our ancestors and land spirits and everything too, so I wonder if that has something to do with it, especially since cacti also hold water, which we know carries energy and everything as well. I wish Art Bell was still alive.
Who?
Art Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a man I would love to actually talk to. Because he did all of his broadcasting from the Nevada desert. He was just a few miles away from Area 51.
Well, next...
And then, speaking of UAPs, but I still like UFOs. It just sounds cooler.
It rolls up the tongue.
But anyways, so at my Edinburgh investigation next week, I have this podcaster out of Iowa supposedly joining me. We'll see if it happens or not. But her main topic of podcasting is all about UFOs. Okay. It's like, she goes by Coley UFO. So I'm like hoping she joins, because, I might pick her head a little bit on non-paranormal ghost topics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Should we try to call a UAP tonight while we're out here?
No.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? Okay, that brings us to the next part of this topic. UFO experiences. Any of those? Because I have one, it's not mine, but I do know the story. I've heard it a million times.
I also have one that's not mine, and the details are fuzzy, but I remember it was like it was undeniable for my friends who saw it. There was absolutely nothing else it could have been, which is fascinating. They were out, they lived in North Branch, so, out a ways, and they were outside in the middle of the night, and there was one of the big triangular ones that, like, showed up, and there was lights on each of the points, and the lights were spinning and everything, and it was massive. They said it, like, blacked out the sky aside from the lights, and I know, I can't decide if I would want to see something like that, or if I would be too scared and just expire on the spot.
Yeah, no, that's I have mixed feelings about that too. But one story I do know, I know it was my grandma, I think it was my aunt and her friend, and I don't think my mom was there. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I don't think she was either.
So, the three of them are driving, and, they look up for whatever reason, and there's, like, this big, like, rectangle light following them. Like, it was literally right above their car, and they were, like, I don't remember how long ago this was, but it was a while ago, like, a long time ago. And it was just, like, following them. And then, like, I feel like you know more details about this story than I do.
Not really.
I have heard it, like, a few times, though. And then, like, they're driving home, and it's right above their car the whole time, like, following them. And then, like, it just kind of disappeared.
Did they lose any time?
That I don't know.
Because I hear a lot of times, especially in the instance of people being followed by UFOs or UAPs, of them losing time. We're like, oh, suddenly it's gone, but 2 hours have passed, and also we're only a mile up the road from where we started. Like,
Yeah. And it's like, the thing is, like, what they told me is that, like, when they stopped at red lights, it stopped too.
Weird.
And then when they started again, it started again. And it would stop every time they stopped. Weird story, but I know you have a few stories.
So I have 3, 2 are mine and 1 isn't mine. So this was a couple summers ago. I got up early and was going to go for a walk. It's like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning. I walk out the side of her door, and I didn't know what it was at first, but I did find out it was Starlink. But I saw Starlink going across. I'm like, what is that? And it's like count of 24. I'm like, oh, click Starlink.
Oh, I have another one.
So I'm just like, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, that's cool. Saw it. Start walking. Get up to the corner. I see this bright light moving super low, like faster than an airplane. And it got to a certain point and stopped, and then shot straight up.
Oh.
I'm like,
That's not Starlink.
I'm like, okay, that is definitely not an airplane, not Starlink. I don't know what that is, but like, whatever. I'm gonna keep walking. If I get abducted, so be it. And then I think, was it November or October last year? I was coming home from a birthday party with Emmy.
It was, I feel like that was 2 years ago.
Or maybe it was 2 years ago. But anyways, by the Applebee's by our house, I see these like 4 or 5 bright lights, coming at me evenly spaced. I'm like, what the hell is that? I keep looking out the window, and so I get off of the side road, and like one by one, they just disappeared. And I'm like,
Weird one too, when they like just wink out slowly.
Yeah.
What are
right?
you
But
doing?
they were
Where are you
like,
going?
a decent size, but it's like they were probably, to the eye, it looked like, they'd be 2 car lengths apart, and they just kept disappearing one by one.
Interesting.
And then the third one I have is my brother-in-law's cousin. Him and his girlfriend were, I don't know if they were out in the desert somewhere or California. Scotty, yeah. They were driving along the road, and them and 5 other cars, also all the cars just dead stopped in the middle of the road, and they're like all getting out trying to figure out what was going on. And they did see some bright lights, but they couldn't explain it. But then when they were outside the cars, they automatically turned back on.
Oh, like the engine stopped
Yeah.
and everything. Oh, that's insane.
Right? Yeah, dead right in the middle of the highway, like midnight or
And
something like that.
multiple cars for that to
Yeah,
happen
like
too.
4 or 5 of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There is one more story that me and you have. You didn't say it. But no, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So a few months ago, our couch is shaped like an L. So my dad's at the far end, like middle of my living room, and then I'm like in the middle of the L, like against the wall. So we're on opposite ends. And I can't remember if we were watching Project Fear or Sam and Colby. It was one of the two. They went that way.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the two. And I saw like these lights like outside my house. What are they doing? Can I drive through there?
Yeah, well, they can't drive through that bridge.
Yeah.
I hope she knows that.
I think she might have just realized.
So, and we saw like these lights outside, and like we do, like, I had something stuck in my throat. Like there is a highway not far from our house, and there's like, lights on the highway and stuff. But I saw like 3 or 4 or 5 lights, I can't remember. Like, they were pretty low to the ground. I can't like tell you how low they were, but I saw them and I like pointed them out. I'm like, what is that? So we go outside and nothing there. We come back in, I saw them again. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, vaguely.
And I come back in, they're not there. I don't see them from inside anymore. However long goes by, and I see them again, and like it's now like pitch black out. I'm like, what is that? So this time me and my mom went out, and we like faintly saw them, but then they like disappeared, and like I didn't see them again. It was really weird, but that's like really the only story I have I can think of. That's mine.
Yeah, it's like I want to find people to get on the podcast and bring more extraterrestrial podcasts into the mix besides just, ghost aspect of the paranormal.
Yeah, do more like supernatural, like get into that kind of.
Yeah. And we did like one podcast a couple months ago with Barnaby Jones. We got, not only did we dig into the paranormal, but cryptids, because he does a lot of cryptid investigations with Bigfoot. And,
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he the Bigfoot guy?
yeah, he is the Bigfoot guy.
No, aliens are definitely a topic I do like talking about. I just wish I had like more stories.
So I think June 30th, I have a podcast coming up. I think the guest is more alien based, if I can remember right, but it's like I've reached out to people and even joined a couple Facebook groups, but it's like I never get any bites. Nobody wants to talk about it, which
Yeah, I get it.
Here's what it is.
yeah. So hopefully I'll get more of those at some point. And
I think we're down to like 7 minutes on that.
yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like doing the random thoughts with Natty. This is fun.
Or deep thoughts, or
I like to call them
random deep
Deep thoughts are middle of the night thoughts. That's when we get into the deep thoughts. These are just kind of like middle of my brain. Deep thoughts are all the way in the back. So
It's like shower thoughts.
yeah. I don't think I have anything else to this.
I think that's
I
good.
don't either.
It's a
That
good
pretty
use of
much
the last little
covers
bit
it.
of the battery.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think it was like almost 20 minutes actually.
Yeah.
That's a good discussion.
All right. Until the next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
How do I shut this off?